The NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with promo code NBA SGPN to get a 50% deposit bonus up to $1,000. We're also brought to you by Rebet. Rebet is a new social sports book available in 45 states. Download the Rebet app and use promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $100. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Start crushing college football, NFL, and NBA with Rhythm. Get your 7-day free trial by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Yes, sir. We are back with another edition of the NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. No me, no the voice, no the guy. It's me, really real, villain real. It's Terrell Furman Jr. here at church. Service. Well, we can take one award off the market because Jared McCain, you and your nail polish are Rookie of the Year. That's happening.
Such a good player.
He's so good.
So good.
What a breath of fresh air for Philly where nothing's going right, that they just have Jared McCain there. Because I swear if Philly ever gets their stuff together, Jared McCain makes them interesting.
And they got Maxey coming back. So they have some talent there. Now
Yeah.
the problem is Paul George and Embiid with their contracts, so that's not going to help.
And that's the top of the talent pool, and they, pick and choose when they want to play. But I mean, dog, it's some talent on this Philly team. They just suck. Man, Jared McCain, congratulations on your Rookie of the Year. What was his odds preseason?
Definitely high up there. I mean, I was high on the McCain train a couple weeks ago, but honestly, McCain train sounds pretty good. Point is, though, I do think that I was close to the, I don't want to say front of the bandwagon, but I feel like I got a nice middle seat, and now people are trying to jump into the end. But yeah, I could tell he was good. I mean, I watched him at Duke. I thought he was fine. I thought they needed to improve a bit more with the consistency, and he's been great. I mean, he took the opportunity and ran with it. Now, the team hasn't been winning games, but he's been walking into 20 basically every game. Sometimes 30. Feels like he hits 4 threes a game.
He has 5 20-point games on the season. Do you want to guess how many 20-point games the rest of the lottery class have combined?
I thought you were going to say the rest of the Sixers for a second. I thought that was going to get very interesting. The rest of the lottery class, I got to actually think about this one. I know, I'm trying to think of how many people actually are worth a damn in the rookie class right now. I'm going to say 1.
5.
5, okay. All right. They're not as useless as I thought. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, he equals the entire lottery class in 20-point games this season. It's crazy. It's crazy. He's running away with this award right now.
The shame is going to be a bench player once they bring Maxey back, but unless they just tell Kyle Lowry to take a hike.
They should definitely tell Kyle Lowry to take a hike, or let Kyle Lowry come off the bench.
Yeah, that's kind of my point. Is I am wondering what they're going to do because their bench scoring isn't that great either. So they might have to bring McCain off the bench because their bench is so bad.
Fuck Kyle Lowry. All right.
That was personal right there.
Yeah, I hate Kyle Lowry.
Is it the flopping? Is it just PTSD from an experience? Like what happened?
No, it's just fucking Kyle Lowry. Like he's just a hateable guy. Like he's fucking.
So it's
he's
the
flopping. Guy that you
okay.
just hate. There's multiple players that I just hate for no reason. I hate Kyle Lowry for no reason. I hated Shane Battier for no reason. Still to this day, don't know. Maybe it's because he's a Duke guy. Don't know what my beef with Shane Battier is, but
I'm gonna ask: were you a big Kobe guy when he was in the league? Because Battier was one of those proclaimed Kobe.
I like Kobe. I wouldn't say that I was. I wouldn't say that I was big because a lot of big Kobe fans hate LeBron, and I don't hate LeBron.
Because Battier had the title of like Kobe stopper, and some people had a rivalry with that. So maybe I didn't say it was true. I'm just saying some people felt that way at the time. So some people hated Battier because of the reputation that he had around the league.
Yeah. Possibly.
I hate Duke, so I actually did love Battier, though. I thought Battier was a good role player.
Shout out Jermaine Cole for his Shane Battier lead.
Do you hate him because he went crazy in that one finals game against the Spurs?
That that did make me feel better because I was already hating him by that point. But seeing that, it's like, oh my gosh, I hate to see. Like, if it was anybody to play well, I just hope it's not you.
That was towards the very end of the career, but he had a great finals game that helped the Heat. I think they won the title that year. I think that was that the Ray Allen series? I think it might have been. But
it might have been. They play like every year for 2 years at that point. 2, 3
every year
years
for
at
2
that
years.
point.
Yeah.
All right. I hate Jalen Hurts for no reason. I hate Seth. No,
we don't hate him for no reason. You're a Giants fan. You're supposed to hate every other opposing quarterback in the division.
Yeah, but like he's doing all these positive things, and I hate it.
Okay.
Like all these positive things in the community and all that. I just hate him. Yeah, maybe I have a little bit of reason to hate Jalen Hurts.
Community service? That's an immediate red flag for really real.
Yeah, fuck Jalen Hurts. He thinks he's so fucking.
He should be getting him. So you think that he should be in the film room instead of helping out the community?
He should be in Target recording TikToks. That's where the fuck he should be.
All right.
All right, man. Let's get into the games here. Before we do that, though, if you're not already downloaded the SGPN app, you're missing out. Make sure you go right now into your app store, Google Play Store, Android Store, whatever store, and download that SGPN app. Look, all the picks and pages in one convenient place. The SGPN app. You get our content, MMA, NHL, MLB, everything, all in the app. You can just type in SGPN into your app store and download it today. Shout out to Team Bass Pop. First time getting ready to check a live out live. So shout out to him. Scott, minus 110. Does he pronounce it Bass or Bass?
No, Bass.
Bass.
I'm going to go Bass.
I feel like Bass should be like minus 250. If you say Bass, that's kind of wild.
I mean, Bass Pack actually might sound better than Bass Pack, but you can make an argument.
Got a fish in his
yeah, that's why I'm saying it's Bass, because I could tell that there was a fish in the image. That's
gotta
why.
Be Bass.
And move sharp money, it's up to minus 500 on Bass.
First game on the slate, and it's a doozy, 7 p.m. on the East Coast national TV spot. We have, hey, did you see that ESPN bought the rights to Inside the NBA?
I did. They're trying to keep the band together.
Yeah, but Ernie said he's not leaving Turner, so question.
I heard some people comment, though, if they bring Stephen A. Smith on the panel, that they're going to riot, and that made me laugh.
No, he's going to be up there. Like,
well, if the argument is, since, we agreed that Ernie might not leave Turner, there is potentially a spot for somebody, if that's the argument. I think he's got to go with them, though. I mean, that's the band.
Yeah,
you got to keep the band together.
What? Inside the NBA without Ernie? I couldn't imagine.
How are you going to keep the band with a new front man? You got to have the same person on the vocals. Come on.
I think it's hilarious that they were laughing about how they would never work for ESPN, and now here they are. Here they are. Your failures. What did Thanos say? You couldn't live with your own failure. So where did that bring you?
Well, to be fair, because Barkley would curse, and they'd have a lot of stuff that was kind of off the cuff. But I feel like McAfee's the ultimate extreme now, so there's more room for them to be.
So now Barkley can come in because they have McAfee, and it's like, all
pretty
right,
much
not as bad. Cleveland Cavaliers on the road going to play the Boston Celtics. Line sitting here at 5.5. 235.5 is the total. We talked about this before the game, Scott. This total has climbed up. Let's look at an injury report here because we have Caris LeVert, who is a game time decision. Looks like he is. Let's see if Caris LeVert is likely to play. Questionable, true questionable if he's going to be able to play. Okoro is also questionable as well. We have Bates, Strus, Wade. Wade is out. That's probably something that you should know. Dean Wade is out.
Oh, he beat the Celtics single-handedly last year, so that's a pretty important miss.
Like literally by himself. So we have Sam Merrill, who is also out as well, questionable with an ankle injury. For the Boston Celtics, Porzingis, is out, but Peyton Pritchard is questionable with a thumb sprain, so we're going to see if he's going to be able to go. He's a game time decision. All right, Scott, the Celtics clearly want to give this team their first loss. A lot of teams want to give this team their first loss. Nonetheless, they continue to win games. Mm-hmm. Here we are, Cleveland in Boston. What are you doing?
I think I got to take the points. I think at the end of the day, until Cleveland actually loses a game, I'll keep backing them, but I mean, the argument for the Celtics or against the Celtics here is they've looked pretty vulnerable lately. Like, I feel like even though they've been winning games, am I supposed to be that impressed? They beat the Nets by 25. They were trailing for a decent portion of the first half, and they got hot from 3, and they killed them. But the Nets have been struggling a bit lately. Loss of the Hawks as 16-point favorites. Should have lost to the Raptors probably as 16.5-point favorites. They almost lost twice as 16-point favorites in the span of a week, which is almost impossible. Like, that would have broken the entire show. That would have been a really funny experience, but the point is Celtics won the game in the end. But they probably should have lost to Toronto. I mean, they had a hard time against the Bucks to come back from behind in that game too late. I am not really sold on how Boston's playing right now. I think Boston's been winning games. Yes, Jaylen Brown's had some injuries, and I get all that, but I think you're in a spot where the Celtics are, don't get me wrong, winning, but it seems like they're still having the same regular season flaws that we've seen from last year. Maybe they get up at home. Maybe they showcase that they are still the best team in the league as defending champions. But based on recent performance for the last week or so, getting into a war with the Raptors and the Hawks missing half the team, not really sold on. And then the Nets game wasn't that great either, as they were trailing for a decent portion of the first half. So I'm going to go Cleveland in this one. I think Cleveland is playing good basketball right now. I think that Cleveland right now seems to have the chemistry fully unlocked with this team. Whether Mitchell's in the lineup or without, I know he missed the last game, didn't matter. Garland and Mitchell, though, have coexisted pretty well. Mobley and Allen have coexisted well. The chemistry is great, but the Celtics, they've been winning, but barely beating the Raptors and losing to the Hawks, missing half their team in the same week. I don't want to lay 5.5 with you against an undefeated team. So I'll go with the Cavs plus the points.
It seems like there's a realm of possibility where the Celtics actually do end this streak of the Cavs, but don't cover the spread.
Could be a war. Wouldn't shock me.
Yeah. And I mean, so here's my thing. I think that the inability to stop the easy buckets is probably going to be the thing that does the Celtics in. Look at their last 5 games. They are 28th in the league in paint attempts allowed, and then they are not really good at defending the painted area as well, allowing teams to complete almost 60% of those attempts. And, I talked about it in years past that the Celtics have an issue defending the painted area from bigs. And now they go up against Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, who Kenny Atkinson in this new system has put a spotlight on, especially Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley's been, Scott, you've roasted Evan Mobley in the past.
I thought it was rightfully
great.
So. He's been great this year. I got to give it to him.
He's been great. And I have to say that it's Kenny Atkinson. That's the difference. He's doing the same thing with this roster, but he's utilizing them way, way more to their strengths. And Evan Mobley's been able to get downhill, get to the rim, shoot outside sometimes. Like, they've been really, really good. So I'm with you.
I think it's also a thing that's been.
Well, I was just saying, I love to prove that I'm not hating on Boston this year and just take Boston so people see it. But I think there's a run possibility where Boston actually does win this game, but it's a 2-point game.
If I was going to go Boston, I would take them 1-10. I've been a fan of the win margin. I feel like it's going to be a close game either way. If you like Boston, I don't want to sweat out the cover. Might be a one-possession game late. Who cares? Just take 1-10. If you like Boston, you'll get plus money here. But if Boston wins, would I be shocked? No. The defending champions at home, it's a good get-up spot against an undefeated team. I can't lay this number, especially with how Boston's played over the last week. If they've been murdering these teams, then sure, I'd consider it. But you get into a war and give up a triple-double to R.J. Barrett with 15 assists. I'm not that interested. Jakob Poeltl goes for a 30-piece against you. I'm not sold in your front court defense. And you've mentioned the front court defense for years.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I wanna say that they are looking ahead to this game. I want to say that, but they've consistently played down the competition. And maybe this is they still lost to the Warriors when they had the chance.
Even the Bucks game, though. The Bucks aren't good, but he traveled to Milwaukee that's been a rival of yours, and you were down for about 2/3 of the game.
Yeah.
You didn't exactly get up for Milwaukee. They've been bad all year. They won the game, but it wasn't easy. That's a get-up spot in theory.
And you know what? It also feels like that this team is missing, and I don't want to say it like this because I understand that he's not what he used to be, but they're missing Malcolm Brogdon or a Malcolm Brogdon-like player that was really, really good off the bench as that 6-man role, and it feels like they thrown Pritchard in there.
And Pritchard might not play.
Yeah, and that's gonna be big.
He's favored to win. He's favored to win 6-man of the year. So that's actually a big piece.
Yeah, yeah. I'm with you. I'm on Cavs. Totals at 235.5.
I'm not going to go under with these teams. It really it's going to come down to 3-point shooting with every Boston game because they just chuck 53s a game. So does Cleveland. Cleveland loves to shoot too. So if you trust the 3-point defense, you like the under. If you don't, then you like the over. I think I'm going to go over, but if you want to make an argument for it's going to be a very physical, must-win game, basically for both teams just based on hierarchy, you want to basically say that you're better than the other team that's kind of your peer, then maybe you like the under and expect the playoff atmosphere, but both teams are just so efficient offensively, I have a hard time going with the under.
Cavs haven't been the best defending the three.
Yeah.
Actually, if you want to look at a spot on the court that they're really struggling at defending it, it is above the break. And yeah, they're not too good in the corner either, but above the break, that's where they're really, really getting killed, giving up nearly 40% this season, one of the worst teams in the league. All right. Well, in the last 5 games, at least. I'm sorry. All right. Next game up. We have, well, before I get to the next game on the slate, I got to talk to you about mybookie.ag. Look, SGPN started out back when I'm still a fan of the show, but back when I was getting into the show for the first time, it was hearing Sean say that mybookie.ag. And now they're back with a new and improved website. They're great on mobile apps. They have a whole bunch of props and every game that you could think of for the live casino as well. So, hey, you can go ahead and get new early cash out options, all of that. I think I might have to take that Cavs plus money over there to mybookie.ag. Go to mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN for 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Plus, you get a $10 casino chip. That is mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rebet, a brand new social sports book available in 45 states. Huge market of betting opportunities there, and it's easy to use. Download the Rebet app in the App Store, and hey, use promo code SGPN to get up to 100% deposit match up to $100. That is Rebet, promo code SGPN, where, hey, great to use if you're in a state that doesn't have a traditional sports book. Rebet. Make sure you use them for a 100% deposit bonus up to $100. Promo code NBA SGPN. Next game up on the docket, we have the Charlotte Hornets on the road going to play your Brooklyn Nets, Scott. And the Nets are laying 3. 221 is the total. Injury report for these two teams. And we have for the Charlotte Hornets, Trey Mann is questionable. He has a back injury. He was sidelined on Sunday. We'll see if he'll be able to play today. And then Richards and Mark Williams, are out. Dorian Finney-Smith is questionable to play in this game. Well, no, I lied. He's probable with the ankle sprain. So look to see him in the lineup. We have Zaire Williams, who is probable as well with the hip tightness. And Bogdanovich, Claxton, and Sharp are out. So, Scott, in this game between the Charlotte Hornets and the Brooklyn Nets, your front court looks like Grant Williams, Miles Bridges, Dorian Finney-Smith, Ben Simmons. That is the front court for this game, Scott. 221 is the total. Brooklyn laying 3. What are you doing?
So the Nets have lost a couple recently, but against good competition. Had a war against the Knicks, then lost the game after that. First game was great. I know that they ended up losing, but still, good game there. Cam Thomas had 40 and change, just a walking bucket. Got killed by Boston. That was a game for a half, whatever. Boston's a good team. Beat New Orleans, who were terrible. Lost to Cleveland by 5. So once again, they've had a tough stretch of games here, but they won the one game they were supposed to win against New Orleans. Kind of same thing with Charlotte. They were able to beat Milwaukee, but they lost to the Sixers in overtime, which is, I guess, in hindsight, a bad loss. Maybe I don't even know. A loss to Orlando by 25 on the road. A loss to Cleveland by 14. I believe Mitchell did not play in that game, but still, I think I'm going to lay it with the Nets. The Hornets are still 1-5 on the road. Like, they're not a good road team, and I think that the Nets can once again look sharp in front of the home fans. All 5 of them that show up for this game, but the Nets have been fine. Like, you're looking at the Nets who they played recently. They've lost to good teams. And they've been competitive for the most part against good teams. Like, I'm not going to roast them for losing by 5 to Cleveland. That's a pretty decent loss. You almost beat the Knicks in a game you probably had no business winning, but you led within the final 10 seconds of the game. I'm not going to roast you for losing that game. I think you're looking at a spot where the Nets are, you could argue, even with the Hornets, maybe a little bit worse, but the Nets have been feisty all year. I don't want to back a 1-5 team in what I think might be a competitive game down to the wire, but I'm going to go Nets here. At home this season, they've been fine. They're 3-3 straight up for a 5-9 team overall. So I'll go with the Nets in this one. Probably not going to bet it, but I do think it'll be a close game. But I think the Nets might have some value on them. I'll go with the Nets to get the job done.
I think I like the Hornets, Scott.
Okay.
And Hornets still playing pretty solid defense as of late.
Definitely for their standards.
Yeah. And I mean, in terms of defensive rating in the last 5 games, they're actually 5th in the NBA, believe it or not. But they're very, very good they've slowed the game down some. They still are turning the ball over way too much. But nonetheless, they are doing really, really well, limiting points off of those turnovers and not giving up, getting themselves into situations where they're playing from behind really, really heavy in a lot of games. Like, the games that they're supposed to be competitive in, they're competitive in. I think this is a game they can be competitive in. Yeah, the Brooklyn Nets are playing well, and if they were to win this, at the end of the game, I wouldn't be surprised. But right now, the Nets aren't scoring the basketball that well. 109 points per game in the last 5 games. Charlotte somehow is worse than that at 105, but Charlotte's really, really solid defensively, and I still question this Nets team defensively, and I think that Bridges can have a really big day. I like Bridges today. I think that Brandon Miller can have a pretty solid day. The lack of rim protection on both sides, honestly, is extremely concerning. But I really love how LaMelo's playing right now, and LaMelo and Bridges get up for playing the Nets. So I'm going to take Charlotte. Then Charlotte plays the Nets pretty tough.
I think it'll be a 1 to. I think that if you want to go for the Hornets to win, you might want to go like 1-10. Same with the Nets. I think it's going to be a close game, but I'll go with the Nets.
Yeah,
I like the under in the game though.
It's a couple of 1-10s to like today, Scott.
Yeah.
A couple
I
of
like the under.
Like.
So I think it'll be a lower scoring game.
Yeah, I think I like the under as well. Both teams have been struggling to score recently. And despite the concerns for the Nets, I think Charlotte, if the Nets aren't scoring, Charlotte's not going to run the score up. They're probably going to hang around the Nets. And if they win, squeak it out. So I'm with you. I like the under 221 here. All right. Next game up, we have the Denver Nuggets on the road going to play the Memphis Grizzlies. This is the second game in a back-to-back game set on Sunday. These two teams played. Memphis got the win, 105-90. There was no Joker playing in that game. For this game, let's see here. We have now 3.5 for the Memphis Grizzlies. 227.5 is the total injury report. And we have Jokic is still a game time decision, questionable personal reasons. Aaron Gordon is out for the Memphis Grizzlies. No Ja still, no Zach Edey. Marcus Smart is a game time decision. With that all being said, the first game of the back-to-back game series, Memphis won as the favorite, covered the line of 6, and effectively stopped Denver from scoring. They only scored 90 points. Scott, what are we doing here? Are you going to be able to back Denver in the second game of a deja vu game?
I have to wait to see if Joker plays or not. I can't really plead the fifth. I don't want to plead the fifth, but I have to. I mean, we've seen them without Joker. They're useless.
Yeah.
This team sucks. That tells you, once again, why Joker right now should be the favorite to win MVP, because he's carrying this damn team. The team's awful. I don't know if you've actually tried watching any of the last couple games for Denver, even highlights based. With Joker out, they are actually one of the worst teams in the league. It's crazy because they still have talent on the roster with Jamal Murray and with Michael Porter Jr. Like, they have names. They have guys who've won titles on this team, but they don't have it. Joker is the focal point of basically everything they do offensively, and his IQ helps carry most of the team. Michael Porter Jr., we can argue, is a good shooter. Can't really create his own shot off the dribble. You're looking at Jamal Murray, who's lost a step or two at this point. I think that's a pretty safe. Statement. Most people would agree on. I don't trust them offensively. So as of right now, if I had to play it, I'd go under for now. because you can still get there in theory if Joker plays, but I can't bet this. This team there's a night and day difference when Joker plays and when he doesn't. I have to pass.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think if Joker plays, this is a great spot to get down on the Nuggets.
First game after having a kid? Yeah, we'll have a monster game.
Yeah. Very, very good spot to get down on the Nuggets if Joker plays. But other than
for the
that,
record, I didn't mention Gordon either. Gordon's another guy who's been a solid. I can't call him a role player because he's had a lot of really good games in the playoffs. But you get my point. Like
he's a very good defensive player for them.
Correct, but the point is offensively, he is only effective because Joker can find him on backdoor cuts.
Yeah,
I don't trust him to make any offense for his own.
His movement without the basketball is pretty good for a big. Like, yeah, I agree with you. It's just a lot of holes missing here, and they're expecting Russell Westbrook to fill those holes, and he's not.
A lot of holes missing. Yeah, okay. All right. I had to think about that for a second. The holes would imply that they're missing. If holes missing, that means it's full.
Okay.
It's like how many holes does a straw have? One or two? I mean, it's a conversation that we're having.
No, you're right. You're right. I had to think
they
about
have holes on the team.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They have a lot of holes on the team in their respect. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Wow, Scott.
I got philosophical on you there.
Yeah, threw me off really threw me off for a second. But with that, I gotta talk to the people about Underdog Fantasy, NBA, NFL, college basketball, college football, and more over there at Underdog's awesome menu of fantasy projections. Make sure you use that promo code NBA SGPN. Claim your special pick and first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. We've been. Hey, you're up units. I'll just say this: if you've been playing our Underdog lineups all season, you're up units. So we'll drop another one at the end of the show for you, of course. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code NBA SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm, #1 AI-powered sports betting platform. Let's fire up the Rhythm AI models and see what they have going on the slate today. Shout out to their team of MIT data scientists that have given me everything I need to just completely lock into their awesome menu of not just NBA games, but props as well. Let's see. Matter of fact, let's see. What menu do we want to go to? What do we want to look at here? Let's look at the models and what the models have going on. Uh-oh. We have a system play, and it's in the next game. I don't know if I can play this system. I don't know if Rhythm is taking into account how the Pelicans look right now, but they have the Pelicans plus 12. Braun Breaker likes it. Rhythm likes it. When they agree and when they synergize, good things happen.
I'm rooting for you if you take the Pelicans. I'm rooting for you.
Well, I don't know. You're not supposed to lay this amount of points with Dallas at home. That's actually a part of the rule.
Yeah, I get it.
It's really a part of the rule. So I'm not surprised that Rhythm is on this play, but the other team on the other side just makes me not want to touch it at all. But I gotta trust Rhythm and Braun Breaker. So Pelicans plus 12. Hey, make sure you go get that 7-day free trial at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. Scott, let's go ahead and dive into that game a little bit deeper. Pause. We have the New Orleans Pelicans on the road going to play the Dallas Mavericks. Dallas is laying 12 here. 222 is the total injury report here for the Pelicans. And let's just say the whole thing for fun. Zion's out. DeJounte Murray's out. CJ's out. Herb Jones is out. Jordan Hawkins is out. Jose Alvarado is out. And for the Mavericks, Luka is a game time decision. He is questionable with the knee injury. And he admitted after the Spurs game, by the way, that he wasn't 100% the last week. So didn't end up playing in that. I don't think he played. No, he didn't play in that game against the Thunder, and they got the win. Dante Exum is out as always too. Scott, this is two things that's going on because we can't, in good faith, bet the Pelicans this season. At least right now. Maybe even when they're healthy, we probably still can't bet them. But nonetheless, Dallas actually, despite getting a very, very, very good win against OKC, Dallas has kind of sucked.
Yeah.
And there's no reason they should be laying this big of a number against anybody. So I am truly torn here.
I'll go with a little bit of approach here, because watching them beat the Thunder, their main concern for the Thunder was rebounding, because you had Gafford, you had Lively, you had PJ Washington at like 16 or 17 rebounds. Why would Dallas not just dominate the boards again in this game?
Yeah, you're going up against Missy and Trey Murphy.
I don't mind Missy,
Ingram.
but like, you got my point. The point is that you need Ingram to really crash the glass in this game. I feel like Dallas should dominate the boards.
Jeremiah Robinson Earl is out there too.
Shout out to the Villanova guy. Point is, I think you're looking at a spot where the Mavericks should cover, but I still don't trust this team either. I think I like the under in this game. Like, I don't trust New Orleans to score. I get the argument is Dallas without Luka does play faster. So that might result in an over, but I think if I was going to go to New Orleans, I'd rather take Ingram props, because how do they cover this if Ingram does not have like 25, 7, and 7? Like, I feel like Ingram has to have a great game for New Orleans to keep this competitive.
Okay, so here's my SGP on how they win this game.
We're going outright win, not even cover. Okay.
Oh, I was talking about
if they're going to win, it's going to be Ingram and
ATS cover is a win, man. If they cover
win,
this,
it's going to be Ingram and Murphy probably just having solid games.
I think Ingram, but I think they also get real. And going back to the big conversation, I think that they're going to get really. They'd have to get it's not no going to. They have to get really big play from Jeremiah Robinson Earl, especially on the glass. He had in that game against the Lakers, he had 10 and 9. He has to have something like pretty similar here. And then what's my guy? They used to play for Memphis, and I liked him when he was filling in for Memphis. Jemison, Trey Jemison third. He's got to come and give them some really good minutes off the bench. They have to get good play out of the front court and all the other aspects of the game, because Brandon Ingram probably can carry this team with 30 points. But it's the play from everybody else that just has to elevate, and they have to get it from the big. So, because like you said, if Gafford and Lively just do whatever they want down there, it's going to be easy pickings, especially with Luka back in the lineup. Easy pickings. So, nonetheless, I'm reluctantly taking the Pelicans because I just can't lay this number with Dallas. This is a system play. We already don't like laying points at home with Dallas. 12 is just insane. They didn't even cover 12 against the Jazz, and the Jazz were horrible. Taking Pelicans here. I do like the under, which is crazy to say.
I mean, it's not that crazy because New Orleans doesn't have many options offensively.
Yeah, but what if New Orleans just lets them score 120 on their own? That would be horrible. That's worst case scenario there. I think we're all right, though. Under 221.5. I like it. All right. Next game up. 2 games left. Oklahoma City Thunder on the road going to play the San Antonio Spurs. The Spurs are catching 9.5 at home. 222.5 is the total injury report. And for OKC, missing all of their bigs. No Jay Will, no Chet Holmgren, no Isaiah Hartenstein, no Isaiah Joe.
Moses Brown? Moses Brown was there. They could have gotten him. Why couldn't they sign Moses Brown?
Yeah. Hey. Pacers. Shout out to the Pacers for bringing my guy back to the league.
Why couldn't the Thunder have got him? You've had him before.
Yeah.
He's sitting right there.
He's perfect. He literally, and guess what? That's a walking double-double every game.
I don't know about the points, but the rebounds are there.
He'll get there with the points, man. Don't do my guy like that.
I'm just saying. You always felt better about the rebounds than the points.
With this OKC team, that was Portland Moses Brown.
Okay.
OKC Moses Brown was getting double-doubles.
Okay.
All right.
I would have been betting double-doubles anyway, so it wouldn't have stopped me.
Man, I'm really sick about that. Moses Brown would have been great on OKC. Why?
Literally any center. They could have brought back Biyombo. Like any center. You don't have to use them. Just throw them out when you face off against like a team with actual centers.
Nonetheless, they don't. Well, I guess Zach Collins is kind of an actual center, but yeah. Nonetheless, Wemby is not playing in this game. He doesn't scare you.
We'll put it that way.
Yeah. Wemby's not playing in this game. Jeremy Sohan's not playing in this game. Yeah, Scott, for this, it was pretty easy for me. Can I
just play it? Because we talked about this before the show.
Yeah, you can start it off with that. I did go ahead and already bet this at 8.5. I just feel like the Spurs team is already kind of unserious, and now you take away. I didn't even mention Devin Vassell is not even expected to play in this game either. So,
what do you have? You have Keldon Johnson taking 20 shots?
Yeah, that probably going to get a bunch of Champagny as well. He randomly
Castle
just kind of
probably forces some shots up. I mean, Castle's not been
yeah.
shooting well his rookie season, but yeah, I said this before when on
Who's
air.
going to score on this team? Like, who is
I'll
scoring
repeat
on
it.
OKC today?
Yeah, I'll repeat it because I know that we said it before the show. I've said it on this show too before. I think San Antonio without Wemby is the worst team in the entire league. And when you throw in Vassell not playing too, I think they're worse than the Wizards. And you know my thoughts on the Wizards. I said going into the year they'd be the worst team in the league. They've lost every game that they've lost by 9+ points. But the Wizards have been getting smacked, and your team beat the crap out of them yesterday. The Spurs are on equal footing, if not below footing, with Wemby being out. This team is awful, and that's why the Spurs win total I love the under on. Because if Wemby misses games, just chalk it up as an L. Oklahoma City awful loss to Dallas. Who's going to guard Shea on this team? Besides the defensive concerns, you got Jay
That's
Will,
an
you got
amazing
Shea. Have
question.
fun. What are you going to do? Zach Collins rim protection? Good luck with that. Mamuka Shavili is going to give you some rim protection? Like, well, I don't know what you have here. OKC should kill this team.
Yeah, Shea really should walk into 35 easy. I mean, this could be one of those first quarters where he just walks out with 14 because
And
he
it was
went
great last
6
game. They
for
lost to
7.
Dallas. He had, what, 36? He had 20 at
Yeah,
the half?
it's been good. That might have to let's remember SGA for Underdog.
Shea
We might
is
have to
just
throw
an
that in there.
absolute bucket, by the way. If you just, so every now and then you got to rewatch a guy. Like, I know people didn't forget how good Shea is, but you want to just experience it.
Yeah.
I'm watching him do spinning, like, half euro. Like, it's crazy the footwork that he has to get himself all these buckets. I don't know how you guard him in 1-on-1. He's got
You
so
don't.
many moves in the bag. How do you guard him?
You don't. You don't.
No, you
All
pray.
right.
Like, I don't know what you're supposed to do. And he also goes to the line a bunch. So it's really just impossible to guard in 1-on-1 situations. So good luck to San Antonio.
OKC team total under 106.5.
You mean Spurs team total?
Yeah, didn't I say San
You said
Antonio? I
Oklahoma
didn't say
City.
San. Oh,
No.
my bad. San
I know.
Antonio
I knew
team
what you
total.
meant, but
San Antonio team total under 106.5.
they might not get to 100. No Vassell, no Wemby. All right. Keldon Johnson's going to have to put up 20 if you want to get to 100.
Suns got to 83. Pelicans got to 88. I think this roster is pretty similar to the Pelicans right now.
I mean, Brandon Ingram's better than any player on their team for this game, to be fair. They're worse than the Pelicans with this roster.
I do like Castle. I think Castle could be pretty
I think
all right.
Castle can be good, but I'm saying his shooting
Volume.
numbers will improve over time, but I don't trust him to walk into a game and give you 20. I trust him to give you like
volume
15.
today. All right. Let's see here. Yeah. Anything else here on this one?
Not really. Once again, I think the Spurs probably get buried. The last game, Wemby did not play, and I want to just quickly, because I know I said the same thing when Wemby missed the previous game, and I believe they got run out of the building. I got to remember who they played. It was against Dallas. Last game. He didn't play. They lost by a casual 17. And they were actually good in the first quarter of that game. They were up by like double digits, and they immediately gave up like a 20-something point run. They're not good at basketball without Wemby.
I got to avoid locking this game up because I took it on my other show. I don't like to double up. But
is that a superstition thing, or you feel like you're robbing the people?
It's really, really tough. It's really, really tough.
You can take an alt line if you want to.
Yeah, I might do an alt line. Maybe. All right, let's close things out. Utah Jazz on the road going to play the Los Angeles Lakers. Man, Scott, 2 years ago, I would have hammered the Jazz in this spot. Lakers laying 11, though. 234. I'm sorry, 234.5 is the total. Injury report. Walker Kessler is out. Questionable tag on Anthony Davis here. He's probable for the game. Roy Hachimura is questionable, a true questionable. We have let's see. Yeah, all the regular players, Jackson Hayes, Lishavino, Vanderbilt, Wood, they're all out. So, Scott, the way the Lakers don't cover this is if they just don't play defense.
Yeah, pretty much. I've been saying all year the Lakers are a good home team, bad road team, but I think I'm taking the points.
Yeah, I mean, good home team, and I mean, you can be a good home team, but 11 is a large number, man.
I want to actually look at the Lakers like win margins against bad teams. Like I know they're 6-0 at home, but I mean they beat the Spurs on the road by 5.
That's
That was
crazy.
LeBron at a triple double in basically 3 quarters.
Beating New Orleans by 6 is insane.
I mean they
Or
beat the
5.
Sixers by 10, but they don't really beat any of these teams by this margin. They beat the Raptors by 20. Congratulations.
That was the second time around too. At home.
Yeah,
At home they were able to do
they've
that.
only won one home game all year. Once again, they're 6-0 at home. They've only won one home game this season by 11 plus points. And they're laying 11.5. I can't do this. I like the over, but I think that the Lakers are going to play with their food again. The Lakers seem to be that kind of team that, once again, I think that they are significantly better at home than on the road. But it feels like they go up and they coast. Then they go up again and they coast. And next thing you know, it's an 8-point game and they should be up 20. It's kind of what I noticed with this team. They really get complacent very quickly in these games. I think the Lakers win. Might be a 1-10 game as well, but Utah's been, I know they're not good, but they have scoring depth. Laurie's at healthy. Clarkson can score. They got some guys who can score points. I don't mind it. LeBron might have a triple-double in this game. I feel a lot better getting 11.5 than laying 11.5 in this game. I'll put it that way. Give me Utah. Once again, they have not won a home game besides the Raptors, who are atrocious once again. Every other game, so 5 of the first 6 home games, which they've won all of them, have been by 10 or less points. So I can't lay 11.5.
And it's just like they're playing like you let San Antonio somehow score 115 points. Then you only score 104 against the Pelicans.
And the only reason why you beat the Spurs was because LeBron had a triple-double and 80 at 40. And that game was still a war. That was a one-possession game with like 2 minutes to go. And the Spurs had atrocious 3-point attempts. Spurs could have won that game.
Yeah, too many points. I can't back the Lakers in this spot. I gotta.
And we think it's correlated. We like the over with this.
Yeah, I gotta see a little bit more. Give me the give me the Jazz plus the points. Lakers win. Lakers 1-10. Also, feels like another good play. This screams that this is going to be like close at 9, and
just to be clear here, by the way, I see Xavier leaving a comment. They've won and covered every cup game. You mean one game? How many cup games did they play?
I think he might be talking about last year.
Is that including last year?
Maybe. I have to go back and look at the numbers from last year to see if they actually won and covered everything. But
all I know is this year they've only played one cup game, so I'm not going to read too much into it. Last year, maybe. I don't know.
By the way,
they covered every game though. They had a sweat against, was it New Orleans? And that wasn't New Orleans. There was one like midweek night game they had, which was an absolute sweat. I don't remember who it was against, but maybe, I don't know, Xavier. Oh, you are including last year. Okay. All right. I didn't know that. I know this year they played one game. It was the Suns. Okay, thank you. It was the Suns. There was one game last year which I remember came down to the wire in the cup, and the Lakers won barely.
Yeah. All right. That's enough of that. Let's see here. Lock, dog, underdog, and we can get on out of here. For my lock, let's go with trying not to double up on plays, but I might because OKC, it just feels great.
You could go alt one as a dog.
But then what would I make my lock?
You go with the Hornets, maybe?
Hornets. Do I want to take the chance on Boston? Not really. I need more information on Denver and Memphis before I get a bet in there.
You want the Jazz? You want the over?
No. Oh, well, the over is actually kind of tempting. Yeah, no, just give me OKC. We're just going to double up. Give me OKC. Lay 9.5. I really just think they're going to beat the shit out of the Spurs. Don't think that team is good. So we'll take that as a lock. For a dog, Scott, can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
And can you get me a line on Charlotte 1-10? I just like how Charlotte's been playing. They've been playing pretty solid defensively. I think that they're going to be able to get a win here. Maybe not blow out the Nets, but they also get up for playing the Nets.
It's plus 240, which is a great price. Plus 240 is a great price.
Amazing price. for 1 to 10 for Charlotte. Yeah, plus 240. That's my dog. Scott, over to you.
All right, for my lock, yeah, we're going to have to double lock it. My picks have been terrible this season, so I might take you down with me. I'm going with the Thunder, minus 9.5 here. I don't have a choice. At the end of the day, I said going into the slate, when we joined the StreamYard meeting, before we hit the live button, OKC should kill this team. That was the first thing we talked about. Like,
yeah,
the Spurs
it really
without
was.
Wemby.
It really was.
The Spurs without Wemby, without Vassell, this team sucks. I got no reason to assume they stay competitive. OKC has been good against the Spurs, whether Wemby plays or not. I know Chet's not there too, but the Thunder have so many guys that can threaten you defensively, and I don't think the Spurs are that great of a defensive team. I mean, the on-off numbers with Wemby speak for themselves. Like, Wemby covers up a lot of holes defensively for that team, and now he's out. Have fun with Zach Collins' rim protection. So, once again, I think that Shake get whatever he wants. I think you're looking at the Thunder off a loss. They're going to be motivated in a cup game to bury this team. We saw them shut down the Suns in their first cup game. What, they give up 83? That was a murder.
Yeah.
Like, Booker had, 8 points in that game? Like, Booker did nothing basically the entire game. So,
what is OKC's NBA Cup odds? Gotta be short. Gotta be.
Honestly, I don't know if I'd want it without knowing if Chet's going to be back on time or Hardenstein. I think Hardenstein's been practicing, though, so he might be back soon. But the point is, the Thunder defensively have a certain gear. I don't trust San Antonio offensively. You mentioned the team total under, which I agree with. But OKC off a loss, I got to imagine they bury this team. Give me OKC minus 9.5 in this game as my lock. For my dog, I think the Lakers are going to win. It's a cup game. I was thinking about doing what you did, which was going with the 1 to 10 margin, which ended up losing last night because the Warriors decided to let Gary Payton II get a three-pointer at the buzzer for no reason. Shout out to Steve Kerr, keeping the timeout in his back pocket. Anyway, point is, for this one, I think I am going to go with the Lakers, actually. But I'm going to go Lakers 1 to 10, plus 200. Give me Utah to hang in there. I think Utah is going to keep this game somewhat close. The Lakers, we've seen play with their food all the time. If you beat the Sixers, who have been a complete lost cause all year, by 10, I think Utah can hang in there and lose by like 5. And the Lakers keep it interesting because it'll be a high-scoring game, bunch of points, defensive lapses left and right. But give me the Lakers to win but not cover, basically. I'll go with the Lakers to win 1 to 10 at plus 200.
All right. Love it. Let's see here. Underdog. What are we doing today?
Well, what do you like today? I know you said we were going to go back to Shea. Do we want to go with Shea first quarter because that avoids any potential blowout scenarios?
9.5.
He is a first quarter bucket, to be fair.
I wonder, how quickly can I look up how many points he's scoring in the first quarter?
I know usually he's, up there in terms of points in the first quarter.
I got that. Right here. I can get that really quickly. I'm just super, because now I'm interested. And I feel like
I'm so concerned it's going to be a classic Shea 30 to 32 points because they just sit him for the last 5 minutes of regulation. I feel like that's a problem.
But it's at 29.5.
Yeah.
Like that's where I'm really, really interested here because we're getting less than 30 for S.
Yeah, I think Terrell lagged out. So I think I know what he was going to say. It's 29.5. I'm in for it. I think he should get to at least 30. If you were curious, though, about the actual first quarter points, Shea had 13 last game against Dallas. He had 9 on the dot in the previous 3 games. So it's going to be a sweat for the first quarter. Yeah, I don't mind it. I'll go with Shea for the full game at 29.5 points on the higher on that one. I don't know if I should wait for Terrell or just keep going. So I think I'll just keep going because why not? Point is, though, for the next one, what I want to go with for this game here. Do I think LeBron puts up another triple-double? That's really the question because against Utah, it's a great matchup. It's a cup game. He's been putting up a bunch of assists this season. I think I might go with LeBron assists in this game. AD should really eat in the paint, and LeBron has been coasting over the rebounds. I mean, the assists. He's had 12-plus assists in 4 of the last 5, 10-plus assists in 6 of the last 8. I think LeBron assists is worth a look here at 9.5. Utah is allowing a bunch of assists per game. They're allowing, I think it's the 5th most in the entire league. But look at the actual head-to-head. He had 9 in the last game against Utah, which was last year on 10 potential. But he has been more the de facto point forward in this lineup. So I'll go with LeBron higher 9.5 assists in this game. Think he'll at least have a double-double. Rebounds might not be there, but assists should be there. If you're picking 80 to have a monster game, give me LeBron higher on his assists there at 9.5. And for the last one, once again, if Terrell comes back, maybe he'll override a couple of these plays. But I think LeBron assists is definitely worth consideration for this matchup. For the other one I want to go with, I thought about actually going with Desmond Bane lower because his points or props have been very high up there, and I feel like he hasn't really done much, statistically speaking, since coming back from injury. Look at the actual numbers for Bane. Sorry, I'm just quickly checking to see what his points are. It's at 18.5. I mean, now it's too low. He had 11 last game. I can't take that. Think I'm going to go with, sorry, just looking at the actual board. Do I think Mitchell has a monster game here? I think he could. Tatum's at 27.5. I think he'll have probably 30 in this game.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Welcome back.
I don't fucking know. It's just, nonetheless.
My second choice was a LeBron higher 9.5 assists.
Okay, fine. I can live with that.
I mean, total's 235.5. I feel like LeBron's going to have a pretty good stat game.
You did take SGA, right?
Yeah, I did points, not first quarter points. I looked it up. So he had 13 last game, 9 in the previous 3 games. So it's a little bit of a sweat. I'll take the points instead.
I was literally just about to come back here and tell you in the last 5 games he's averaging 9.6. And
yeah,
we have him
it's
higher
close. I'll just go with the
points. No, but I mean, I still like it. I think he's gonna get there. That's the crazy thing is I think he's gonna get there, but I also think he's gonna get over 29.5 too. So, all right, so we got that. Let me get Legoat up here. Oh wait, I can't just type in Braun and I have to type in LeBron. That's his name.
It's a damn shame.
Yeah, they should really just let me be able to type in Braun and Braun come up. I shouldn't have to type in LeBron. Not 0.92x. Are we cool with that?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Well, wait, what was the third leg?
Oh no, that's just LeBron's leg. We got to figure out.
Oh yeah, that's fine. We can take LeBron. For the third one, I know Charlotte has no rim protection, and I understand it's a bit of a joke, but I want to ask you for the sake of asking. Ben Simmons lower 6.5 points?
I really, really want to, but I swear to God, Scott, if he gets some bullshit around the rim and he goes over, it's gonna piss me off. So I don't want to do it.
It's fair. I'm just saying because he did have 0 against the Knicks last game. He's had 10 in the last 3 games combined. So that's why I'm asking.
I 100%. I 100% agree, and I'm telling you, maybe say no, because he could rack up some weird ass assists and fuck the points, rebounds, and assists. Let's just stay away from Ben Simmons. But
okay,
I tell you, the lack of rim protection is the only reason. The only reason. Let's go with. I like Charlotte, man. Well, we both like. You like the Nets.
You want to go LaMelo, or you want to go Bridges or Miller?
Let's go LaMelo assists.
Okay.
Oh wait, it's 0.9x. 0.8. I mean 8.9. What's 7x? Yeah, I think he gets to 8. Let's go up to 7x at 1.15x. I feel really good about the LaMelo assist. I think he could get close to 10. This Nets defense is horrible, and he's been really, really good.
For the record, the usage has definitely been there for LaMelo, obviously. He had 12 assists against Cleveland, 6 against Milwaukee, 7 against Orlando. Orlando doesn't give up assists to anybody, so that's a good showing there. And 8 to Philly. So, yeah, he's been pretty good lately.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, SGA higher, 29.5 points. LeBron higher, 9.5 assists. And LaMelo Ball higher, 7.5. A little bit of spicy there on the assist.
That's assists, yeah. Okay.
Yep, on the assist. That's going to get us 6.34x. $100 gets you $634. I'm sorry, $100 gets you $634. Make sure you use that promo code NBA SGPN. That is NBA SGPN. Scott, anything else for people before we get up out of here?
Not really. Lock and dog picks have been bad, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, up and down. It's been man, I feel like there's a lot of content creators that I know that are just very, very up and down on the NBA.
That's the annoying part, though, is that like if you look at like some of the YouTube plays have been given out, or like any of the props or the overall games that we cover that I don't give out for lock and dog, I feel like I've been good, but it's like the 2 picks that I pick at the end of the show have just been the worst picks imaginable, which is just a shame. But whatever, it is what it is.
I hope not tonight because we're rolling together. All right, let's go.
Go Thunder.
Make sure you give us a follow. He's at Reichel Radio. I'm at reallyreal _ at SGPN NBA. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe in the comment section below. Give us a 5-star rating and review. And with that, I have nothing else to say, nothing else to do. No other way of ending the podcast. Just going to like this. Man, Jared McCabe. Who would have thought? We're out of here.